So child abuse and neglect is something that most people don't want to even think about or talk about, just because they don't want to believe that it's actually happening out there to little children. However, that child abuse and neglect can follow that child for their entire lifetime. But what if there was a way that we could all try to prevent it? Now, today I'll be talking about the nonprofit organization called Prevent Child Abuse America. I believe I'm qualified to talk in this topic because I have done a lot of research into that organization the last couple of days, and I'm also working towards becoming a social worker that will primarily work with young abused children. Now, today I'm going to be talking about a few points. The first one being awareness, policy change advocacy, as well as donation. Now, the first step in trying to make a change is for people around you to be aware of the problem, and that's why awareness is going to be our first topic. Now, according to Prevent Child Abuse America, raising public awareness, engagement, and advocacy for policies all in the state, national, and local level all help support the programs to ensure children and families get the resources that they so desperately need. Now, because of public awareness of the issue, the organization can promote their programs. One of the programs that they help promote is child sexual abuse. Now, according to Brave Movement, as you can see here, 3 girls and 2 boys experienced sexual violence every second this past year. 1 in 5 girls and 1 in 7 boys will experience some form of sexual violence before their 18th birthday. And this last one in 8 children experience non-consensual taking, sharing, and or exposure of images and videos this past year. Now, awareness is a crucial first step. However, in order to make a lasting impact, we also need to advocate for policy change. Now, according to the National Council of Nonprofit, advocacy helps organizations by meeting their mission, solving problems, survive and thrive, as well as all giving their citizens a voice. Now, raising awareness and advocacy for family-friendly policies at a national, state, and local level all help support the programs to ensure that children, families, and or caregivers get the necessary resources that they so desperately need. Now, while advocating and changing policies are all very useful, we can all do our part in raising our voices in our neighborhoods and communities, even the workplace, all by trying to donate to this organization. Now, donating to this nonprofit organization will impact the lives of nearly 100,000 children who all benefit from Healthy Families American program, which is a national home visiting program that focuses on early childhood relational health. According to the cost-effective prevention approaches to support Healthy Family American, averages about $1.81 for every dollar that they spend in benefits that support the families and the communities. Family Spirit has an average return investment of $2.37 for every dollar that they spend. Now that we've discussed about the impact that a dollar can have, let's discuss the lasting impact. Donating to this nonprofit organization would not only prevent child abuse and neglect, but it would also help prevent adverse child experiences, child neglect, child physical abuse, and child sexual abuse. Now, the way that this organization helps to prevent it, the methods that they use is the state chapter network, home visiting, research, public policy, and advocacy. Now, according to Healthy Family America, their family support specialist trained to nurture and be attuned and be talking a conversation with the family members, to implement the healing strategies with the trauma response to create a safe environment, empower, and be self-efficient. Now, what actions can we take? So we can donate in a multitude of ways. It's as easy as buying a crew neck, adding $1, sending a check or wire, stocks and donor advertisements, workplace giving and engagement, and many other methods. Now that we've talked about the ways that we can donate, what would happen? So hopefully, because of all of our donations, this nonprofit organization can continue to advocate, raise public awareness. Now, one of the examples for the child sexual abuse, this nonprofit organization specifically does campaigns to bring awareness and bring that to light. Now, the child sexual abuse, it can harm a child's physical health through unwanted, unplanned pregnancies, physical injury, long-term chronic medical conditions, and mental health, leading to issues such as depression and PTSD. This organization has systems in place to try to prevent it, as well as bring resources to the victims that have been impacted and have gone through that. However, if this organization does not receive the funding that they so desperately need, the result would be less resources for the home visiting program, which is linked to Prevent Child Abuse America. Now, not having a home visiting program would result in children and families not being able to receive the assistance for better birth outcomes, promote healthy child development. That would decrease significantly, and families would also be less likely to enroll or participate in school and training programs. Now, the only thing that we all want to do is prevent child abuse. Now, it does come in many forms, but we can also try to prevent it, any type of abuse, really. Now that I've spoken about how important it is to bring awareness to Prevent Child Abuse America and advocate for policy changes and donations, if you do choose to donate, you will be part in preventing child abuse. So please join me in donating. Thank you.